Hey artists, it's Miss Elliott here for our new art activity. It's spring and there's flowers. Actually, it's probably closer to summer now, but that's okay. It's still springtime. In Florida, it always feels like summer. We are going to do some flowers. Okay? Now, this is really early for Mother's Day, but if you really work really hard, this is something that might be very beautiful to give to your mom for Mother's Day, or grandma, or somebody in their life that really helped you along the way and you appreciate them. It would be great for Mother's Day. Miss Elliott forgot a piece of paper, so I'll be right back. If you want, you can start gathering your materials. You need a piece of paper and a pencil to start with. That's all you need to start with. Miss Elliott's going to go get her paper. All right, kiddos, this is going to be a 2-week project, so I really want you to take your time with it. We're going to spend a lot of time today drawing, and then next week we're going to finish coloring it, because we're going to color in a really cool way. We're going to do something called pointilism, and hopefully you watched the little video and looked at the pictures. George Seurat was really big on pointilism, and it took him years to do one painting. Many years even to do one painting. That's how much work it takes to do pointilism. So I don't expect you guys to take years, but I do expect you to take 2 class periods. It's 1 full hour to do this activity. Okay, so I have attached some beautiful pictures of flowers. Some are a little more realistic. If you are a student that loves to draw more realistic flowers, this one's really good for you. If you are a student that wants a little more simpler flowers, this is good for you. This is more realistic. These are a little bit more simple. You have simple and realistic ones on there. And this one, this beautiful, I think these are poppies, is a very realistic one. So you can kind of decide. We're going to draw 4 flowers or 4 different flower scenes. All right, so you have your white paper, you have your pencil. I'll move all my paint out of the way since we really don't need it today. Okay, so take your paper. I want you to fold it in 4ths. Try to fold as best as you can, but if it's not perfect, it's okay. We're actually going to be cutting it out eventually. All right, yeah, fold. You could hold it like this, or you could open it up all the way. I'm actually going to hold it like this so I can focus on 1/4 at a time. Looks like I got stuff all over that side, but that's okay. We're going to fill it with color by the end of it. All right, so I want you guys to just pick a flower, any flower. You don't have to go with the ones I gave you. I just thought that was good to have some examples. We'll start with something easier. I'm just going to draw this one right here. All right, so you can make it as big or as small as you want. You can make 4 of them if you want to fit them on. I'm going to make, I think, 3. So I'm going to start with just that circle in the middle. I'm going to draw a little bit harder so you guys can see on the video, but I expect you guys to draw lightly. You remember, we're sketching. You should barely see your lines, because after we're all done, you don't want to see any of your lines. Your lines want to disappear because you want your color actually to be what shows. So this is 5 leaves. So I'm just going to draw 5 leaves. If you see, some are bigger than the other, some are smaller, just like in nature. Not every petal. Did I say leaves? I meant petals, guys. Jeez Louise. So every petal is not going to be the same on every flower. So it's okay if your petals don't match. It's okay if one's bigger than the other, one's smaller than the other, one's longer. All right, so I want to fill up my paper with some flowers. So that's why I said I think I'll draw 3. They're each going to have the 5 petals. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you guys. Just take your time. If you need to, pause it. Practice drawing one at a time. These are our 4 practice papers. We're actually only going to pick 1 to be our final product. So that's why if you maybe at first you don't like your flowers, hopefully by the 4th one, you'll be really happy with it. So this one's going to peek out over here. So this one won't be, you won't be able to see everyone. There we go, this one will just hang off. You could also add some leaves. So if you look around at some of them, the rose here has some leaves. These ones don't have any leaves. This one's got some good leaves. If you want to just run some leaves through it, you do just, a stem and then make some leaves. I know in 3rd grade this week they're learning a lot about plants, and I know last year when I was a 3rd grade teacher we learned a lot about plants and the importance of leaves and stems, and Every part of the flower has its own purpose. All right, so once you're happy with it, fill it up. You do not have to fill up the whole page, but just do your sketch of your first one. And once you're happy with it, you're gonna turn it around and we're gonna draw another one. Should I try the rose, guys? I kind of like this rose right here. So let's try that one. It's a little more, actually, I'll do the sunflower next. The sunflower is pretty cool, right, guys? All right, this one I'm just gonna make a big old sunflower. So I'm gonna start with that circle in the middle. Then I'm gonna do my petals. If we see this one, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 petals, and then the other petals are in the background. We wanna do those petals that are full petals. So we want about 7. They're just like little leaf shapes. This one's a little bit easier. Let's see if I can get 7 on there. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like I'm only gonna get 6, guys. Let's see if you're able to get 7. And you know what I did? What I didn't put them close enough together. So when I do these, I should have been able to fit in a 7th. But remember, it's practice. And if you do right here, but you still like the sunflower, feel free to make another sunflower. Once you're like, oh, I'm so close for it to being perfect, say, oh, I'm gonna try that one again. And then if you see this in the middle kind of has like cross lines. Make almost like a weaving pattern. All this is filled with seeds. That's where the sunflower seeds come from that you guys even eat. It comes in this part of the sunflower. If you've ever seen one up close, they're pretty cool. And if you want to, you can put some leaves on it. Just remember what's a leaf and what's a petal. And if we see they have all these little lines, you guys can do that too. All right. And then I'm going to want you to do 2 more. So if you do like me, I got 2 here. I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna do 2 more here. 1 here and 1 here. So let's see. You think I should try the rose? All right. So if we see it's just made out of shapes, so I'm gonna start with this shape right here. So that just looks like a curve. And then this one, and feel free if you want to print it out like Miss Elliott. See, it looks like a moon, like a crescent, but it's not as skinny as a crescent. So let's see, like that, point it up. Remember, Miss Elliott's drawing darker. You guys should be drawing much lighter so you could actually erase it at the end. Then I'm going to draw these 2. Let's draw this one first. Another moon shape. And if you see, it doesn't come all the way down. All right, and then this one is like almost like a petal shape. I mean, like a leaf shape. Why do I keep getting leaves and petals confused? Because I'm trying to draw and talk at the same time. All right. Pretty happy with that so far. And then you're just gonna, if you see, it just keeps building upon each other, adding, it looks like every single time it's adding more leaves. So my next round has 1, 2, 3. That's all roses. If you've looked at it, it's petal upon petal, wrapping itself into itself again and again. So if you can't draw exactly like the picture, just keep wrapping leaves around. Like this is a really simple leaf. Look, it's just a curve. I said leaf again. Oh my Lord. Okay, so it is not a leaf. It is a petal. See, I've lost my place. So I've done that one, done that one. That looks like that goes there. Yep, and all it is keep wrapping upon each other. There's a big leaf over here. Big petal over there. I think I should stop talking for a second, guys. I'm going to finish this and then I'll catch up with you guys. Let me see. All right, the one thing that you want it kind of symmetrical, like in a circle. So that's kind of where you want to end. If there's a petal, if it seems to be more lopsided and like this is side short, just add another petal. But you keep wrapping itself. You add some Leaves. You could even add a stem if you want with this one, because I know they have stems and they have thorns. If you want to add little thorns, you're more than welcome to. That's a big thorn. Okay, and then you're going to draw one more. So as long as you get here and you have 4 drawings, I think next week I'm going to show you, we're going to do pointilism. I guess I'll explain it a little bit so you can get your supplies ready for next week. So today, just draw them all. I want 4 4 different practices. Like if you love the rose, try it 4 times. Okay, or if you love the daisy, try it 4 times, or 4 different ones, okay, by the end. So we're gonna do, this is pointilism, and I use 3 different ways. This here is using the tip of a brand new paintbrush, and this is the paintbrush I used. Very skinny, thin, and I barely even touched it in water because I wanted it like kind of pointed. Over here is my marker. I actually really like the marker technique. I use these markers here. They're very skinny. You want skinny markers. Crayons or color pencils would not work with this one because you got to touch it, and it would be really hard to do that with crayons or color pencils. And this one I actually used a pencil point. I sharpened this pencil here, and I dipped it in paint and did it there. So this is how we're going to paint it. And if you see, I did a half page, but it took me a very long time, so that's why we're only going to do one of our flower scenes. So markers work good as long as they're skinny, very skinny. Like, let me show you these ones. These are even skinnier than like the skinny Crayola. They're brand new, and you barely touch it, because if you squish it, you're gonna break your marker, and then it's gonna be a big dot. This again is paint, so I just did acrylic paint, not watercolors. My brown actually came from watercolors, but I used like a lot of acrylic, which is the wet paint. And this is using a very sharpened pencil. So next week, you need this piece of paper, and you need to decide if you're doing paint or markers. You actually could do both, kind of like mine, and kind of combine them to see how that looks. All right, kiddos, so I'm gonna leave you here. Please finish up your 4 different flowers and have them ready for next week. Next week you only need 1, but keep them all together, and then we will practice on it, and then you can decide which one is going to be your absolute final product. All right, guys, pointilism. Finish our pointilism next week. Have a great week. Bye, guys.